Can you hear me now?
Okay, just keep talking. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, folks. Yes, I'm. I have to start over. The whole beginning was, if I knew how to edit, I'd cut out the first minute or so. But what I was going to say is every year I say it, and every year it's true. This has been one of the greatest years for pop music in history, but you would never know it listening to radio unless you listen to Little Stevie's Underground Garage or reading the standard music press, which sucks up to these big $1 million selling concerts and musicians who really, for the most part, do not know how to craft an intriguing pop song or a rock song. And when I speak of an appealing rock song, we look at the classics like the Beatles, the Who, the Kinks, the Beach Boys, and bands that go from that day to this day. And I'll get into a bunch of them in a minute. But what distinguishes those bands is their appreciation of song structure and their use of at least three chords per song, at least three chords. Uh, Now, there's some big hits that consist of only one chord. Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk comes to mind. I like Bruno Mars. I have some of his records, and knows how to write a song. But this is not a song because it's all in one chord. I don't like that. When you only have one chord, you don't have the tension that's created by a bridge that can only be resolved by the hook, which is a third chord or a fourth chord or a fifth chord that resolves the tension created by the first and second chords. For those of you who know the blues, you understand instinctively what I mean because blues are all based on a first, fourth, and fifth chord, and you know the progression yourself. And it's that fifth chord that resolves the tension between the first and fourth chord. But I'm just going to go through some records which I've heard this year and recommend them to you. Uh, and first up, Nick Piunti, part of what I call the Michigan Mafia. And I call them the Michigan Mafia because they're a group of musicians that hang out together all the time and they churn out record after record. I think this is my fourth Nick Piunti record. It includes Ryan Allen on guitar and harmony vocals, and Ryan Allen leads his own band. And these guys all hang out and they play on each other's bands. It's terrific music, and by that it means it's you can dance to it. It's got a driving beat. It's got at least three chords, and it's got soaring vocal harmonies, which is what I like. It's what I look for. Uh, this guy, Brad Marino, just terrific. Just go to Google Brad Marino, play any of his songs. It's rock and roll, raucous roadhouse rock and roll uh, that is pioneered by bands like Barry and the Remains or Gene Pitney or any of the great rockers. There's a little Buddy Holly in him. Guys that knew how to create a song. Uh, this is a re-release of an album. It's called The Brothers Steve, and it's just perfect power pop. The songs uh, blend together in a seamless master suite of hooks and bridges and soaring vocals that make you want to sing them. And you listen to this stuff enough, and you will sing them. I have internalized certain power pop songs as my primary defense against earworms. You know what earworms are. They're annoying little ditties that get in your head, and you can't get rid of them. Uh, my go to earworm cure is Duncan Maitland, who wrote a song called Crash Position. You have to hear it to believe it. But if you look up Duncan Maitland songs for the 21st century, it's a masterpiece. It's on the level of the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds or the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper. It's just one stunning music after another. There's a dog back here wagging his tail like a metronome. This is more classic roadhouse rock and roll, three chords and a cloud of dust. You got to hear this to believe it. Uh, One of their songs, 6 O'Clock Baby, is playing prominently on YouTube. I urge you to seek it out. I posted it on my Facebook page, but that was some days ago. Muck and the Myers, 6 O'Clock Baby. Listen to that, you'll be hooked. Now, this is a label out of Texas. It's called Spider Pop. This record is just astonishing. This is not just 3 chords. This is like Def Leppard or Deep Purple with soaring vocal harmonies and one killer hook after another. Uh, Chris Church, this is just an amazing record. I couldn't believe it when I first heard it, but I should believe it, and I do believe it. And I gave it a great review on popgeekkevin.com. But here it is, Chris Church, backwards compatible. Check it out. Listen to any song on this record. That's another thing that distinguishes these records. There's no filler. Every song counts. This guy's English. Nick Frater, Fast and Loose, another power pop masterpiece. The term power pop was coined by Peter Townsend of The Who, and it means soaring, upbeat uh, rock and roll with harmonies, a bridge, and a hook. And Peter Townsend knew how to deliver a hook. Now, The Who are more hard rock than power pop, but we know what they are. We love them. And if you like that sort of thing, this came out this year. If you liked Bruce Springsteen's early stuff, but wondered where he went astray, you have to hear this record. Nato Coles and the Blue Diamond Band. It's just amazing, and I will recommend a song from it. LP's Yard, as in Long Player's Yard. LP's Yard. It's on YouTube right now. You listen to that, you'll be hooked. This is his third record. The guy is a rock and roll monster, and this is rock and roll. It's not power pop. It's soaring rock and roll. Uh, like Bon Jovi or Van Halen. And if you like those guys, you'll love this guy, but especially if you liked early Springsteen. Now, my friend Bruce Brodeen, who runs Pop Geek Kevin, puts out a collection of the best power pop every year. And you can reach him at popgeekkevin.com. And this is an unusually modest set because it contains only 2 discs. But he skims the cream of the cream every year. And I'm looking at these names here. Cerrone. Cerrone is an Italian band that'll just blow your mind. They're like the Beatles, especially the first one. Um, Justin Levinson, Propeller, Third of Never, The Morning Line, Chris Lund, Eye Rollers, Plastic Soul. They've been around forever. The Glad Machine, group from Western Massachusetts, just terrific power pop. And again, the music is fresh. You play it, you like it, you can't wait to play it again. These are records that you play over and over again because they're just a joy to listen to. So when people say rock and roll is dead or they're not making good music anymore, they're just not listening or they don't know where to look. And these are all on small labels for the most part. Power pop used to be huge with the big labels, RCA, Columbia. They all put out terrific records, but these days they're just chasing the tail of the latest fad. And if that song doesn't have at least 3 chords, it's not rock and roll. So remember to check out these 3 sites: powerpopaholic.com, absolutepowerpop.com, and popgeekkevin.com. Thank you.